And then as far as the signing class, I don't know if there's wagers on the first adjective or everybody's definition of fits and culture and excellent and perfect and all those things. We had needs at quarterback. We had needs at linebacker. We satisfied those very well. You look at 3 quarterbacks, one a graduate transfer, 2 from high school, overall 19 signees, 10 on defense. A big need for us was linebacker. We think we got 7 guys that are somewhere defensively. When you look at a guy that might move from the secondary down to the box, or from the box to defensive end, just kind of depending on how all these guys grow up. Very, very pleased with where we are. And I guess from there we'll just kind of run through guys. I think we're looking at the same list. Briefly touch on them and then take questions. Logan Bathkey, kid from Orange County, Orange Lutheran High School, OLU, great program. Chuck Peterson, been there for a long time, a phenomenal football coach, was with Fisher DeBerry at Air Force for a long time. A big athletic guy that is a tremendous finisher. I think is his biggest strength. Needs to learn to play consistently with pad level, and that'll come when the guys don't move as easily as the guys he was blocking sometimes. But that was also for a reason. But great kid, great family, and looking forward to his arrival. And then one thing, and sorry, I noted here, had these written on the right. Somebody kind of wanted me to basically say who the last competition was, or who kind of the finishing competition was with each guy. And with Logan, it came down to us and UCLA. Brady Brees, obviously a legacy type of situation with the Dakota family, going way back to my dad and his grandpa used to work together in Southern Oregon. Obviously the Dakota name is legendary here, and Brady's a versatile guy, makes a million plays a million different ways. We see him starting as a defender. Played for Coach Pine up at Central Catholic along with Lamar, and Brady was turned into a national recruit. He's been committed to us for a long time and fought off a lot of people to get to today. Eric Briscoe, from AC Davis in Yakima, was a guy who had a great sophomore year, kind of an okay junior year. I thought he really responded well when we kind of challenged him to do some things, and he responded really well and had a much better senior season. Played for Rick Clark at Davis. And another guy that's kind of fit that mold of a versatile linebacker. He's probably 6'3" and change, 220-ish. Came down to us in Utah primarily at the end. Jake Capra is on campus from Placer High School, just east of Sacramento. Really cool little hill mining town. Coach Montoya has done a fantastic job there. Jake's brother plays at Utah, has another brother at Cal. Really good program there. He was kind of all everything there. Most of the Pac-10 Northwest Bay Area schools were the final ones there. Troy Dye from Norco. Again, kind of that mold of maybe a safety type guy that's going to move down in the box. I think he wants to start at safety. I think eventually his development is going to be as a linebacker. His dad was a pro baseball player. His brother was an NFL football player. Played at UCLA, so comes from a great pedigree, a very, very good program with Coach Chastain in Norco, and came his last visit really came down to us in Michigan. Darian Franklin from Downey in the LA area, a true inside linebacker, probably 6'1"-ish, 210, 215. He's on campus. This morning was our first opportunity to really see those guys work out, and we saw him work out, and he can move, change direction, runs through contact, doesn't slow down, which obviously you like to see in a linebacker, and off to a good start here. Came down to Oklahoma, SC, UCLA, and us. Justin Herbert from 800 yards that way. just a guy who does everything really well. You talk to everybody in that school, everybody that's been around him or his family, and they just light up. And whether it's something he's done off the field or baseball, basketball, football, his brothers, it's really neat to see people how excited they are for him to be in the program. Played for Coach Johnson over at Sheldon, many Coach Johnsons. Is a guy that I think just has unlimited potential in terms of focusing on one, maybe two sports. I know Coach Horton is going to be very interested in his in his services, but can't wait to see this guy just develop and grow up. Just how big he is. Very similar to A.J. Jacobson on the hoop court. Saw him dunk about 4 or 5 times the other day when we watched him play basketball, and looked fantastic. Hunter Campmoyer from Bishop, California. Anybody been to Bishop? Nobody? Just kind of on the east. Oh, half hand raise. You don't want to admit it, or
I've been
what?
there, Coach.
Okay, kind of on the east side of the Sierra Nevadas. I think pretty close to Mammoth. It was unbelievable vistas from out of there. Hunter is kind of, when I mentioned the kind of the big athlete guy, possibly a Mike backer, maybe a defensive end, just as he grows. And his body changes as he's on campus and in Rad's program. He was originally committed to ASU and came down to Cal and us. Wayne Kirby from Highland High School in Pocatello, Idaho, the home of the Cutter family. A lot of great ball played at Highland High. Coach Mariani has done a tremendous job there in Eastern Idaho. Wayne is a tailor-made 3-technique, potentially a nose guy in a passing down situation, and plays heavy and hard and can run. Really neat kid, great family. Lost his father last year, unfortunately, and just a really close family, and that was kind of one of the things that he, I guess in his mind, overcame, was the distance of, really came down to BYU, Utah, and us in the end, and just a tremendous upside for a guy when he focuses in Rad's deal, and again, we like him a lot. Hopefully not too many of these guys we don't. Cam McCormick played for a college teammate of mine, Joe Padilla, over at Summit. Unlimited potential, again, a guy when he focuses on football and the year-round kind of commitment to all the things that we ask those guys to do. It'll be amazing to see how he changes and develops. Was named, I thought this was telling about him, was a team captain and the most inspirational player, and didn't play last year, after he was injured, and never missed a practice, never missed a workout, never missed anything. And those guys really noticed that. Michigan, UCLA, and Washington were the kind of final four for Cam. On that note, I mentioned he was a captain. I also need to mention 19 of 19 guys that we signed are or were team captains. Dylan Mitchell played for Coach Riccone at White Station in Memphis, and just electric. Guy's a phenomenally talented guy on the hoop court, on the football field. Guy was offered by Alabama in football and Duke in basketball. Kind of speaks to his abilities athletically, or I should say Oregon in basketball as well. Right now, Dana Altman kicking tail. But Coach Riccone has developed a power there. Everybody in the country recruited this guy. Matt Lubick did a tremendous job kind of getting on him early and kind of leading wire to wire in a lot of ways. Sam Patasi from Vegas, Desert Pines High School, brother of Jeremiah Patasi, who plays with Marcus at Tennessee. Went to Utah. That was kind of the primary competition, as well as some other Pac-12 schools for his quote-unquote services. Great family, really young-looking guy, as young as you can look, and be 6'4", 330 or whatever he is. Really excited about, again, his potential. I think these last two groups of offensive linemen, we've got a bunch of big athletic guys in that mix that something great's going to come out of it. Very excited about that future. Keith Sims from Landon School in Bethesda. really neat kid. Was a guy that came out with his mom on the official visit, and mom was very skeptical just of the distance and all those things. And it was really cool to kind of see her transformation from start to finish of the visit. And she was all for it. Went back in the 3.5 feet or 4 feet of snow back there, and it was there's a lot of snow on the East Coast when we're back there, and to meet his father and everybody that has supported him was really cool, for him to kind of realize that distance really doesn't matter. This was the best place for him, and tremendously talented guy, true Mike backer in our new scheme, downhill guy, but can still play sideline to sideline. Came down to, it was really Virginia Tech, North Carolina, and then Maryland for him. Tristan Wallace was committed to Ohio State for a long time, and flipped here toward the end from DeSoto. Power in Texas. Was a guy who I think was kind of the best athlete and played quarterback. He is something. I don't know what he is, but he's something. He is a great looking guy. We measured him. I think it was 6'4 1/4", 238. So right about Mosley in a lot of ways, and can do everything well. He's a physical guy. He's got great hands. He can run. Very explosive. I know there's going to be a lot of guys that are on our staff that are kind of fighting for his to be his position coach. Coach Peterman at DeSoto. Terry Wilson played for Coach Wareheim at Del City and just outside of Oklahoma City. Really talented guy. Very excited how his kind of skill set fits our scheme. Can run, can throw, is smart. Did a lot of good things on and off the field. At the All-Star game, he was at the Semper Fi game, right? And coaches had a lot of great things to say about him as a leader, as a practice player at those kind of games. That's really important and telling. He was obviously committed to Nebraska for a long time. Lamar Winston from just up the street, played again for Coach Pine. Lamar fits in that kind of big athlete category. No telling really how he's going to develop. I think at the beginning he'll start in the back end. Some people recruit him on offense. Some people recruit him as a linebacker, but can run and hit, and is getting to like being physical more and more as he grows up. Really came down to SC, Michigan, and us for Lamar. Bryson from Clovis Buchanan, just in the Fresno area. Coach Jaycott. Great looking guy. He's about 6'5", 235-ish, and it kind of is going to start primarily as a rush end, kind of a down defensive end. Some people are recruiting him as a linebacker. We had him in camp 2 years ago, and he was this kind of skinny guy that played really fast and very physically, and to see him kind of grow up before our eyes was great, and obviously expect more to come. Michigan, Tennessee, and SC were the final four for him. And then finally, A.J. Hodgkins, inside linebacker from Riverside City College via Tigard. Played for Tom Kraft down there, who's been a very successful junior college coach, then 4-year, then back to junior college. AJ will hit you. He's probably 5'11", 225, somewhere in there. He was at the workout today and really explosive, changed direction laterally and moved around a lot better. I think we all expected him to be able to be kind of a linear guy, which he does that very well. And how he moved around and did some of the agility things today was very exciting. I think really the last two it came down to was Arizona, Arkansas, and us. Cal was also involved there. And then Dakota Prukop, was obviously very, very highly recruited. Neat kid, just already being around him, how hard he works, how he's kind of gotten other guys to work. Whatever it is, let's go throw between classes, or let's go do this, let's go do that. Very charismatic that way, as far as getting guys to do a few extra things. So, with that, we'll take questions.
Raise your hand too if you can. We got microphones as always.